There are four main components of emotional intelligence. You've heard a little bit about them. Let's talk a little bit more about them. I did hear someone earlier say that they would like their leader to be self-aware. Self-awareness is knowing who you are, what's going on with you, what's going on with your emotions, and how you affect other people. So who said that they wanted their leader to be self-aware? And what were you meaning when you said that? Exactly what I said? Right. So how does self-awareness affect leadership? How can self-awareness affect leadership? So if I'm not a self-aware leader, then what happens with my staff?
And so sometimes you may not respond in the moment.
Exactly. Thank you. Right? You don't know that you're micromanaging people. You don't know that people don't like you because of XYZ. You don't know that the reason why people are leaving is because of you. You don't know that the reason people are calling in sick is because of you or something that you've done or haven't done. So you don't know. So you're thinking that, oh, it's just this person's issue. And you haven't really looked internally, looked at yourself to see what was going on. What about self-management? That's the second core component of emotional intelligence, self-management. Self-management is the ability to manage your thoughts and your actions. She has some slides. So self-management is the ability to regulate your emotions, thoughts, and actions in constructive ways. So it involves staying flexible, resilient, and intentional to achieve the desired outcomes. So it's being able to be in control of your emotions. So when you want to be impulsive, when someone says something in the meeting, that person who always says something in the meeting, that person who everybody looks at and says they're about to say something in the meeting, is being able to control your emotions, controlling what you say, controlling your facial expressions, all of those things. That's self-management. How do you do that? You got to control the face too. That's all part of it. The verbals, the verbals and the non-verbals. The verbals and the non-verbals. I was leading an organization, had a bunch of people, a bunch of members. So it was a community service organization. We had a little over 400 people in there. And so a past president came to me and she said, people are going to say all kinds of things to you. They're going to make, comments. They're going to criticize you. They're going to do this. You're going to have a person who always wants to steal the floor, and they're going to be talking all the time. And she said, you cannot give it away by your face. And I was like, well, it's not that hard for me because I'm a counselor. So we practice that, right? We go to school to figure that out. But in that, like in my personal life, sometimes I do a little bit different. I'm not always at work. So if I'm in another organization or another avenue, sometimes I do things differently. So I said, well, how do I, what are your suggestions? She said, swallow 2 times, and then come back with a smile. And I was like, swallow? She said, yes, that's your pause. You swallow, come back with a smile. And so we will talk about in just a minute, reframing your thoughts about that person who was going to say something, or, that person that you're texting about that your friend says, here's Mr. So-and-so again, or Miss such and such has her hand raised, or this person just grinds my gears when they do XYZ, and your facial expression is saying the same thing that you're texting. We will talk about how to reframe your thoughts about that person. But yeah, our facial expressions will give it away a lot of times. You might as well say it sometimes when you see what a person's looking like.